DNVR Broncos live, coming to you on a beautiful day in the Mile High City on the corner of Colfax and York here at the DNVR Bar. And fellas, well, where should I start?
I guess don't ask me.
I guess I'll start here. I don't know how to react to what we're talking about today because the Broncos and Sean Payton are being respected, and I'm in disrespect mode.
Wait, they're being respected?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't like
Undisrespected.
it. Change your mind. Disrespect us.
Wow.
The disrespect has been going well for this city for a while.
Yes. Point two, which we'll get back to point one. I displayed incredible personal growth yesterday, and I want my flowers for it.
Wow. Tell us about it.
So, went golfing. By the way, played this place called The Homestead.
Okay.
It's over in Lakewood. It's an executive course, which means it's a little bit shorter, doesn't have as many par fives.
Does that mean it's for like business people who aren't actually good at golf, but
I think
they make
so,
the course
yeah.
a little easier, so they call it the executive?
That's a good thought. Yeah, the course is a little easier. This was the nicest executive course I've ever played, so shout out to them. It was in immaculate condition. Usually it's like cheap to play, and you know, they don't keep it in that great of shape because it's really just to go out there and whack it around. No, this was a good course, so shout out to them.
Was it also inexpensive?
Relatively.
Okay.
More than I would want to pay for a less than full course.
Wow.
But then when I got there and saw the facility, I was like, all right, this is worth what we paid.
That makes sense.
I walked 18 holes yesterday.
Oh, don't do that.
Paid $17 for it.
Do that.
Hit 2 pins from 100 or more yards out. Shot a 96.
Oh.
Wow. So you had 2 incredible shots and the rest of the round was bad? Is that what I'm
Basically,
picking up
there was
here?
I think it was like 7 3-putts. It was brutal.
So I shot
was tired.
74, but relatively that's more like an 82.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad, right?
Not bad. Anyways, afterwards,
Yeah,
just
where's
like
your growth?
looking for a place to watch the second half of Heat Celtics. Would have normally watched the whole game, but scheduled the tea time before I knew it was going 7. Went to actually the place right across from our old office. Remember the old office? And there's that place called Hangar 101.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Place is legit, man. No free ads, but they deserve it. So does the Homestead.
They also carry Breck Brew there, which is awesome.
Love that.
Wow.
Yep, knew that. Sitting down, watching the game, obviously cheering for the Heat a little bit. It's not like I'm in like full Nuggets mode, like let's fucking go.
Right.
Like I'm just like going like when they make a 3, like throwing the 3. There's a Celtics fan next to me,
Ooh.
and he is so pressed about the fact that we're rooting for the Heat. Like
Even though
beside
it's
himself.
mild.
Like the most mild I've ever been about
Wow.
anything. And he starts like he's sitting closer than you and I, but like I'm in a booth and he's at a bar table, so he's like literally sitting right here,
He's breathing on you.
and he's just trying so hard to antagonize me. Like, he's like pretending to talk to his girlfriend. This is my move. Pretending to talk to his girlfriend, but really talking to me. He's like, these fucking Nuggets fans are just such bandwagoners. They probably just started watching basketball this year. They don't even probably know the history of the Celtics, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like saying it over and over and over again. And Allie's like, please, don't react. And I just sat there, smiled, never reacted, never even looked at him.
Wow. And this was
Wow.
in the second half
Yes.
when the Celtics were clearly falling apart.
Yes. Yep.
Wow. And he was falling apart.
Like,
Wow.
remember when they like cut it to 8?
Yep.
They like hit a 3 to cut it to 8, and like he like stood up and like, you know, like flexed,
Yeah.
and he's literally trying to like stare me down
Yeah.
from like right here, and I'm just like shaking my head.
What's so
Just-
great
Wow.
about that is you obviously wanted the Heat to win, just like every Nuggets fan, but it's not like it was your team.
Exactly.
And so it wasn't really a win-lose.
No,
for
exactly.
You.
Like I didn't. I mean, I cared.
Yeah.
But I
But
was
for
gonna.
him, it was everything.
Yeah, like
for
the
you,
Nu-
it was just like a nice little cherry on top.
Yeah, it was.
I had a
I'm proud of
similar
you.
experience because we got in there like 2 minutes after halftime and like sit down and like it was a 3 from the Celtics. And I was like, oh, and the guy next to me was like, yeah. And I was like, oh shit. And we both just
Here we
like
go.
looked at each other. But turns out he was just like cheering for Derek White. I was like, I can respect
That's
that.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really tough internal struggle for me on Friday night.
Yeah.
Because man, Wait, wasn't that Saturday? Oh yeah, it was Saturday because last night was Monday. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Thought last night was Sunday for a second. I love Derek White, man. Like,
Yeah.
I broke the news of Derek White coming to see you. Like, I've literally known him for so long.
Didn't he
and
wear one of your jerseys?
He did. The pictures that I put out, I wouldn't have told that story.
Oh,
The
Personal
pictures-
growth.
I put out the pictures of him supporting DNVR because he's wearing the DNVR hat with that. That was also my jersey.
that's so dumb.
Anyways, so happy for Derek, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like friends, close family, Allie, of course, not in that order, and then my teams. You know, like, so like
Teams after.
I wanted this for the Nuggets to get home court advantage more than anything else.
Right,
So
right.
sorry, Derek.
Yep.
I was like very conflicted.
This was the ideal situation. You could not have drawn up a better situation for the Nuggets. Not just with last night, but just the way everything has
7
unfolded.
games.
So 7 games. The Heat are now 1-3 in their last 4. They don't have that much rest now. It's in Denver. Jimmy, maybe a tiny bit hobbled. I'm actually
They
not.
didn't even have time to go home after the series. They flew
Yeah.
directly to Denver last night.
That is why.
They're here somewhere.
They are.
Maybe we should find them and harass them.
They're invited
Don't
to the
do that.
DNVR bar, right? Like they can come down here and have a good time.
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
I think
yes.
so. I
We-
think
we
you
can
want
take
them
them
to
to,
come here and have a
Yeah,
good time.
actually, we'll overserve
Yeah.
the hell out of
That's
them.
what I'm saying.
No,
That's
we
what
won't.
I'm saying.
That's illegal.
Or poison.
That's
Leeds
also
fans.
very illegal.
Yeah, that sounds even more
Wow, we have a lot
illegal.
to cover from the weekend. I'll just say this:
Yeah.
Leeds fans
yeah.
Long weekend.
tried to light off fireworks outside of Tottenham's hotel the night before the game.
Wow.
Arrested.
Didn't help them. They
Wait,
lost.
wait. How do you try?
Well, they did.
Oh, they
Oh,
did.
succeeded.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually very common practice in soccer,
Yeah,
where
it
the
is.
fans from other teams show up to the hotel and try to keep them up all night.
Wow.
Kind of amazing, but did not work. Leeds relegated.
You doing okay?
I'm too young in this fandom for it to hurt that bad, which I feel bad because like I want to be a real fan.
And you clearly have that in your heart for other teams.
Right. And like I was talking to one of my friends who was just devastated, you know, and I was like, damn, that's really rough. Like I can imagine what that feels like. For me, I'm like, okay, well, now we get to go down to the lower level. We'll
Yeah.
probably score a bunch more goals,
Yeah.
win a bunch more games. It might actually be fun. Also, last thing on soccer. That season just ended on Sunday. Their season starts again before the Broncos.
That is wild.
crazy.
70 days until their season starts.
Like the actual season?
Actually 69 now. Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
nice. Like the actual season
The
or like
season.
training camp?
The season.
Wow, that's absurd.
Soccer is unreal. They just play the whole year.
And then they just have like their other tournaments and stuff too.
Yeah, and that's not even counting their international tournaments that are coming
Yeah.
up in the summertime.
Right, they just like turn right around.
Yep.
Like they have like a friendly with Man United.
What's also
Like they just always play soccer.
What's also insane that I realized this morning was the Nuggets have 2-ish more weeks of basketball, and then Summer League starts 2 weeks later.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it. Now I know it's not.
It's not them,
I know
yeah.
it's not them, but I mean, just talk about it, and it just made me take a step back and think, man, the Nuggets guys are just such a different beat than our beat, where there's like, for the most part, something going on 11 months out of the year, 10 months out of the year, where for us, yeah, there's the draft and stuff, but actual football, we have like
so
8
short.
months.
Yeah.
That's what
what it
drove
really
me
comes down
crazy.
to is championship runs. If you make a championship
Yeah.
run, you just delete your off season.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then like you cover college football and all those coaches walk up there and say, it's a long season, it's a marathon. It's like, well, wait. Compared to everybody else, it's not. Like you guys
true.
play your first game the
12
first week of
games.
September,
Yeah.
and then you're done at the end of November.
It's really true. Yeah.
That is actually really crazy.
Yeah,
For-
and there's like, oh, it's a marathon. It's such a grind. It's like, no, it's freaking
And
not.
then they just
You have to go undefeated to
And
win.
then they just recruit 24/7 for
Yep.
the next
Yep.
8 months.
Yeah, like their life is certainly a marathon, but you're right.
Season-
the
yeah, season is a sprint.
definitely
It is
not.
a sprint for sure.
It is.
Ugh.
That's the shortest sports season of any.
Yeah,
Of
gotta
like
be.
any college, any
Probably.
Less than
professional.
12 games.
Unless
Yeah.
there's like some
Yeah.
weird like cornhole's like a 2-month tournament
I
type
think it's
deal.
just one tournament. Yeah.
It's like here's cornhole league.
Wouldn't that have been like this past weekend? Wouldn't Memorial Day probably be
Yeah.
or 4th of July maybe?
No, 4th of July is hot dogs.
Yeah.
But they do
dogs
have
would be-
they do have
You're
cornhole.
right.
I don't know. They should take Memorial Day though.
Yeah. Well, but then you kind of overlap with playoffs.
Yeah, I
Labor
guess.
Day. Labor Day is the one because that's the week before NFL starts.
Are the people watching
No, but there's
cornhole more
college
likely
ball.
to be watching the NBA or the hot dog eating contest, though?
Last thing I
Hot
want to
dog.
cover
Yeah.
from the weekend. Zach getting a response from JJ Watt on Twitter.
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
that was
No
wild.
tags, no
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, that was wild. He must have been searching his name.
Who isn't?
No, I bet you someone tagged him in your responses.
Oh, probably right. Yeah, about a very random tweet
Yes.
that he's trying to help Zach Allen
Yeah.
pick out his furniture.
In a very untraditional sense, he ratioed you in like 30 seconds.
He
Wow.
did. He absolutely did. I'll be ratioed by JJ Watt any day.
Let's go. Really, I'm the one who should be getting ratioed by JJ Watt.
That is very true because he's like not a very good player, right?
Super average.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
Wait, does he own a soccer team that you hate? Like, are they rivals or?
Who does he have?
I have no idea.
No,
All I know is,
he does have like some sort of part ownership in something.
so we don't know.
Seems like it would probably be Tottenham, which is who just sent us into the shadow realm.
So then you would hate him.
Yeah, I hate him.
They had. I was here. I can't remember why, but they had like the MLS All-Star game here,
Yep.
and that was against the Hotspurs. And I remember just walking down 16th
won.
Street. Really? And so I was just walking down 16th Street, and they have like that clock tower and that little field thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, there's all the Hotspurs. And I was like, no thanks.
He's like not that hot.
They had like the big chicken.
It's like I would call them average Spurs at best.
Yeah, it's like,
Wait, did you call him Hotspurs?
That's their full name.
they are the Hotspurs. Okay.
I thought they were the.
When he
Tottenham
said-
Hotspurs.
Oh, the Hotspurs. Is
Which
that
is
I don't think
interesting.
anyone calls them the Hotspurs.
the hot?
Hotspurs.
Okay, wouldn't Wemby be the hottest Spur?
Ah, yeah.
Wow.
I guess not yet.
haven't
Future
looked at him.
Hotspur.
Did you guys see his
face.
90-second little interview after the lottery happened? Because I think it was right before Nuggets game or right before.
I didn't see it, but I
was at
I've
the game.
Heard of its existence.
It was crazy how they were interviewing him like he just got drafted
Yeah.
by the Spurs, and he was like going along with it.
Yeah.
It was just so bizarre. You would never see. I just feel like you would
What's
never
crazy
see that.
is Brian Windhorst flew all the way to France.
Yeah,
Just for that 90-second interview.
People used to
Yeah.
do that all the time, and now media's broke.
right. He could have
Yeah,
hopped on
I
a
mean-
Zoom.
I mean, it's still a waste of money, to be
Yes.
clear. But
Yes.
I will say I saw
But we're
like
still talking
a
about the
media
interview weeks
person
later.
It's true.
defending it, saying, the relationship that he probably helped build in that
Yeah.
moment is worth a lot, which
And
that
the
is
interview
true.
that we're
Yeah.
still talking about. Like, what's a flight?
We don't know one thing that he said.
No, but we know that it happened. We're talking about weeks later, and they paid what, like $3,000 to do all that? $5,000.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy though. That is very much more so old school journalism than not just new school journalism, but like new school way of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have just hopped on. They could have just had a camera out there or something.
Okay, one last thing.
yes.
This actually ties into the Broncos.
Oh,
Shout out to all of the incredible community members who responded to Tim Patrick saying this is the place to watch the Nuggets.
yeah,
That was-
yeah, yeah.
There were
hilarious.
hundreds,
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
hundreds of responses.
And then what was so cool on top of that was how many likes so many of those
Yes.
responses
Yeah.
got.
Incredible. And it came on the heels of like some guy just tweeted out like where's the best place to watch the game, and there was like 50 people that responded to him, and then Tim tweets it out. So maybe we'll see Tim here.
Yeah, that would be.
He
I
liked
mean,
my tweet, quote tweeting him, telling him to hit me up. So
has he hit you up yet?
no, I assume he's probably trying to figure out what he
Yeah.
wants to do. Also, I have to laugh. He someone was like, "You're an NFL player, bro. You can afford to go to the game." And he responded to that person like, "No way, bro. Not paying $21,000 to go to any game." And I was like, "Okay, you don't have to sit courtside."
I was gonna say that's not get in, is it? No way.
Get in right now is actually on.
It's not bad.
On Game Time has dropped into the 700s,
Including
Okay,
fees.
okay.
including fees.
500 according to
That's probably
here.
before fees.
What?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys
There
have
you
your
go.
tickets
I don't
yet?
do before fees.
No.
I don't have my tickets yet, but I am going.
You?
Yeah, I'm going.
And
I'm thinking
Yahir's
1 and
got
2.
his tickets. There we go.
731 lowest price right now, including fees.
Including fees.
It's not bad.
Well, actually, Ryan, just a little pushback.
It's crazy
for
that we say
you.
that's not bad because it is.
It's insane.
Our perspective has been completely warped.
But this is
Yes.
this is the peak of Nuggets fandom for our lives.
Yep, which is why I'm going
mean,
no
that-
matter what.
Exactly.
to game one, no matter what, or just a game.
Game one. I want to go to
Game one, first finals game ever. But so that makes sense.
Yep.
That's right.
A little pushback though. You are, at least maybe before this series, you were only first section. You have to be in the lower bowl. Is that kind of equivalent to Tim being like courtside or nothing? You know? You see?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
yeah.
I will say, like, it's a view thing for me, like how good the view is.
Yeah.
You can have a good view that's not courtside.
Well,
In fact, you might
that
be able
is
to make
true.
the argument that courtside isn't the best view. Like, you're
Not
too
if your
close.
baseline.
You
Anything on the end is
Definitely
rough.
could make that view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
When you deal with the basket, that's kind of tough.
Especially if you're right behind it.
Exactly.
And you have that in the way
Yeah.
the entire time.
But I will break my rule for this, depending on how the prices go.
Okay. Yeah.
Got a number in mind.
Yep.
We'll see where things
Yep.
shake out.
Fair.
Yep.
Now, I mean, some Bronco, whether it's Sean, whether it's Russ, it's got to be buying a box for this, right?
What would
And
make
then
sense?
inviting
I heard it's
bunch of
25K
guys.
for a box.
And that's what?
Wait, that's
for like the
it?
cheapest?
And now I say
So
that's
that's
it
12
compared
tickets?
to,
20.
Oh, that's for the 20 tickets.
I mean, compared to 21,000 for courtside.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
steal.
deal. That is a
Yeah.
And you
deal.
get like more privacy, but less shine.
Which is exactly what Sean Payton wants. So you know what he should do, Sean, because that's what he wants
That's what
for
he
this
says he
team.
wants.
He should, well, he should. Okay, well then he should buy a box for all the players,
Yeah.
and then he can
He
sit
goes and sits
courtside.
courtside.
But then everyone else is in a box, then no shine.
He can turn around
Right.
and wave at him.
And you know what else that those guys can do in a box, which isn't as easy to do? They can have as many Breckenridge beers as they want without
True.
getting the shine, and that's what they're gonna want because that's
Damn.
what we're gonna have. Or if Tim's here, all the Breckenridge brews are going to be here.
I didn't think weekend
Slinger.
notes would take up the whole first segment.
I mean, coming off a
It was a
3-day
long
weekend
segment, too.
It
and
was a
the
long
off
weekend.
season, yeah, it was. It was a long weekend, long off season, and I'm sure we all had plenty of Breck brews. And man, Memorial Day weekend now, it's like officially summer patio season. Whether you're at Illegal Pete's having a Breck beer, whether you're just sitting outside, on a Tuesday afternoon with the Breck brew, check our friends out at breckbrew.com or come by and get some at the DNVR bar.
And also go check it. I was trying to remember, and I was like, oh, it's not in my head. It's on my computer. Go play some sports with Volo Sports.
Yes.
They have every sport. I think that's probably fair to say.
Fair, yeah.
Yep.
They've got flag football. They've got basketball. They've got cornhole. They've got
Darts.
darts, badminton.
Wow.
Basically, flip cup.
Wow.
Yeah. Just about anything that you could want to do competitively, Volo Sports has it. And I'm pretty sure, so all the leagues are signed up already, but you can still sign up for their monthly membership, which gives you unlimited access to sports and events and social activities every single night. So it's unlimited pickups and drop-ins and tournaments. It's $20 a month. And again, if you wanted to, you could do something every night. You can go to 30 things for $20 a month. Or if you pay for a year, then you can get it for $200 per year. They also have a beta version for $10 per month for 3 months. Sounds like a great deal to me. So if you missed your chance to play in the May leagues, get your Volo Pass, start playing in leagues as a free agent today. Make sure to use the code DNVR10 for $10 off at www.volosports.com/Denver.
Boy, when was the last time you heard someone say www dot?
I don't know. I thought it was implied.
www. The
You know,
World,
Henry,
World Wide Web.
I gotta give you credit for reading the ad correctly.
Yeah,
There you go.
I just do what the thing says.
It's impressive.
Yeah, if it says
Whatever the teleprompter says.
yeah, no, it's like it just has W space
I
W
would actually
space
love if you
W
said, "Go
space.
fuck yourself, San Diego."
Or Miami
Yeah, sure.
now.
Oh, and I don't want to sidetrack anymore. But I was gonna say I need to find a reason to hate Miami more, because like the Suns in 4 guy was like our
Yeah.
reason to hate them,
Yeah.
and then the Lakers obviously
obvious.
self-explanatory. I like the hate. I want to hate the Heat more.
Yeah, I like Jimmy
yeah.
Butler.
Yeah,
I
he's
do.
cold.
Yeah, he's my
Yeah.
favorite non-Nugget. But I mean, like, and I won't hate him until it's the middle of the first quarter and he just stuck his tongue out in a dumb way or something like that. And then I'll hate that guy for the rest of my life.
He can certainly
Probably by game 2, he's getting booed every time he touches the
Yeah.
ball.
Probably
Yeah.
because we're good fans.
he can talk shit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And
he
so
will.
that's all he has to do.
I
Maybe
think-
not talk or act.
I think I need to go find some threads from the Jokic-Morris interaction and just like see some dumb shit.
That is
Right.
true.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that was Jimmy who was saying like,
Meet us in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he was screaming at Jokic like he wants to fight after.
Should be noted that all of the Heat players were surrounded around Jokic at one point on the floor. None of them did anything.
Yeah, who
once
would?
they got
He's
separated, that's when they were gonna meet us in the back.
It's a good call because he knocked out Markieff Morris for the season.
Yep.
Oops.
That was wild.
Does
It was awesome.
Anyway,
Speaking
But
of
that's
dumb
ano-
shit.
Oh wait, can I say one more dumb thing?
yeah.
Speaking of dumb shit, somebody posted the thing about like MPJ went and like choked Zach Collins or whatever
yeah.
thing, and I was like, yeah, he did. Like he's a badass. And I remember because at the time it's like, no, he didn't. His hand just happened to hit him. Like he's a nice guy.
Right.
But then like once you're removed and you're done defending his honor, it's like, no, that's right. They'll just go straight for your throat.
Zach Collins deserved to get choked. I don't know what to
He
tell you.
does. That guy's the worst.
All right. So,
Did Team 33 choke on this?
33rd team.
We had spoken previously about this.
Thank
Yes.
you.
That's why there
The
was laughs.
33rd team.
The 33rd team put out a head coach power rankings, more specifically via Ross Tucker, built the list. And an interesting list here. And as I said off the top, I don't know how to take this in because it's too much respect. I'm so used to the disrespect.
I don't think it is too much respect.
Well, maybe it's not too much respect, but it is respect.
It's a fair amount of respect.
I mean, okay, so here we go.
This is respect.
Here is the top 10.
Okay.
Number 1, Andy Reid. Number 2, Bill Belichick. Number 3, Mike Tomlin. I think all three of those are ironclad, pretty much impossible to disagree
I
with.
think Sean Payton can be in front of Tomlin. I absolutely think so. What has Tomlin done that
Okay.
Sean Payton hasn't?
Well, let me just finish
I
what
have
I
one
was
thing.
saying here. Are you making that argument, or are you saying it could be made?
I'd be willing to make the argument. If he was the Broncos head coach, I'm not
Are
sure.
you
but
willing to make the argument, or are you making the
I
argument?
came into today saying I'm going to make the argument.
All right,
What
so-
is Sean?
so you
what has
believe
Mike
Sean Payton-
Tomlin done?
Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season.
There you go. And Sean Payton had one.
He's had
Mike
either
Tomlin
3 or
also
4.
has one Super Bowl.
He does.
Yep,
He has a
same
Super
as
Bowl.
Sean Payton.
Same as Sean Payton.
Okay.
So
else is
accomplishment
your
wise,
case?
so there you go. Accomplishment wise, you could lean Mike Tomlin if you wanted because the lows aren't quite as low.
How many coaches of the year?
I have no clue.
Okay,
But that's
I'll
just
look
the
it up.
accomplishments. In terms of who you want running your team, in the modern NFL, give me Sean Payton because he's going to run your offense and he's going to make it perfect. What happened without Ben Roethlisberger? That team sucked. The offense was no good without him. Like, the offense was just no
Ooh.
good. Now you got Sean Payton. Sean Payton, you give him the tools that the Steelers had last year, it's going to be just fine. Modern NFL, offense is more important. Give me Sean Payton.
I've got some massive pushback just on that one specific point you made. What did Mike Tomlin do without Ben Roethlisberger? Is what you said? Mm-hmm. They went 9-8.
They went 9-8.
Not great by
but
any
didn't
means.
score anything.
What did Sean Payton do without Drew Brees? There was 1 year of that, and I believe they went. Was it 8-8 or 9-8? I think they went 9-8 as well.
Right around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you can't make that argument and hold it against Mike Tomlin and not hold it against Sean Payton. And I'm not trying to take Sean Payton down. I just think that you're not giving Mike Tomlin nearly enough respect.
But the argument isn't the record. The argument is the offense.
Well,
Like-
how about this? The record shows Sean Payton with a 631 career winning percentage, Mike Tomlin 625.
Yep. So again, like all those things,
One
they're going
coach
to
of
come out
the year
about
for
even.
Sean Payton, 0 for Mike Tomlin, which is kind of criminal.
Yep.
That is wild.
So, but again, like modern NFL, who do you want running an offense? It's Andy Reid number 1. It's Sean Payton number 2. And you got to put Belichick up there. I put him in front of either of them because he's Bill Belichick.
Well,
In power rank, it's important to note power rank. We're talking power rankings here, so it reflects the current
Yep.
state of affairs. Because
Yep,
if we're
yep,
saying
yep.
who are the best coaches in the NFL, you have to put Bill Belichick number 1.
right. In terms of like the greatest.
Yes,
And
then
I
you-
would put him number 1.
You might actually.
We'll
You actually
we'll
would
get
have
into our
a
own
more
rankings.
compelling case, I think, for Sean Payton being above Tomlin here if we were talking about who are the best coaches, not who is higher in the power rankings right now. I think
Right.
you have to knock Sean Payton a little bit for being out of the league in a power ranking scenario.
I don't
I-
think he lost anything though.
I agree with Ryan.
Huh.
I don't think you get a benefit to being out of the league in a year. I don't think if you're a great coach, I don't think it knocks
No.
you down a ton.
No.
But I think that if someone had a winning season last year, that's more valuable than not coaching last year.
but I don't know. I just look at it as who do I want to be my head coach? I take Payton over Tomlin.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, you said something, and can you continue through these
Yes.
rankings really quick?
Okay, so again, I think the top two are definitely obvious.
Yep.
Top three are close, although I hear your argument, especially with Sean Payton having a higher all-time winning percentage. I knock him in a power ranking scenario just for not coaching last year. 4 is Payton. 5, Sirianni. 6, Kyle Shanahan. 7, Sean McVay. 8, Brian Dable. 9, Pete Carroll. 10, Doug Peterson.
Yeah. So to me, there's like a clear next 3. Well, I don't
Okay.
even think I'd have Sirianni in that,
so
though.
the first conversation for me is Kyle Shanahan being at 6. That's too low.
I completely agree, and that's why I wanted you to continue to read the rankings, because Henry said there's 2 people you want to run your offense. It's Andy Reid, it's Sean Payton. Those are obvious. I think Kyle Shanahan has to be included in that conversation. So I don't think it's like 1, 2, and then a gap with Kyle Shanahan. I think
agree.
Kyle Shanahan is in that top 3 conversation.
Yep.
And Henry, I do agree with you about offense is so important now. So that has some weight here. Now, where do I put Kyle Shanahan above in this list? Because Nick Sirianni, what he did was incredible. But Kyle Shanahan, man, I mean, to get him 6th, that's like the steal of the draft if this was a draft.
If this was a Niners podcast, they would be beside themselves.
That's a really good point.
That Kyle Shanahan is 6th. And
They'd be beside themselves that he's behind Sean Payton
yes, they would.
Do you think so?
I think so.
for power rankings.
And I think you could probably make the case that Shanahan goes all the way to 2.
Only behind Andy Reid?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, I can't get. He's a good coach, but again, like it's the same thing with Nick
convinced.
Sirianni in a lot of ways, where they both just have
I
crazy
guess I was wrong
talent.
when I said the top 2 are ironclad. Because Bill Belichick, what has he done for us lately?
He, I believe, is 1 game above 500 since Tom retired.
Made 1 playoff game,
Yep.
got beat by 40.
Yep. Yep. It's true.
Kyle Shanahan
What
is
was- yeah.
consistently like pulling rabbits out of his hat to get the 49ers to the NFC Championship.
I don't think it's rabbits out of a hat,
And
though.
see-
Like that's the most insane roster in
Brock
the
Purdy
league.
is a rabbit out of a hat.
Okay, but just look at everything beside the quarterback, and is there any team that comes anywhere near the 49ers?
So you are right in terms of the talent the 49ers
Exactly.
have, but you are just downplaying the quarterback
I'm not, though.
position
I'm-
so unbelievably
Yeah.
much. Not just with Brock Purdy last year, with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo is just on the open market and got what, $18 million a season? That is like, I mean, that's Case Keenum type of money. Especially, actually, they got the
less.
exact same amount. Yeah, so it's less because Jimmy Garoppolo just got that, and the success he was able to have with Jimmy Garoppolo, I just think that shows how good of an offensive mind Kyle Shanahan is.
Oh yeah, he's great. But again, just look at the rest of that roster. Take quarterback aside. That team's making the playoffs regardless of who the coach is. That team is
I will
absolutely
not go that far.
They've got all pros at every position. Like they are perfect at football. There is no weakness to that team at all.
The Broncos had one of the best defenses of all time. Now, they did lose some guys in the offseason, but they
Yep.
had an incredible defense still in 2016.
Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, Chris Harris Jr., Heap to
To
leave.
leave, and they didn't make the playoffs.
But they were 9-7. Now, what if they had the offense? What if they had Christian McCaffrey? What if they had the best left tackle in the game?
I mean,
what if they had the rest of the offensive line and
Demaryius
Debo and
Thomas,
George
they
Kittle?
had Emmanuel Sanders.
And those guys
they
don't
had
compare.
talent still.
No,
They don't compare.
That's fair. Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle.
Like they're the best left tackle. Arguable, and so the point is though, it's the same thing with Shanahan and Sirianni to me. Where Sirianni, that's the second best roster. Like again, quarterback aside, that's the second best. Like they are just insane. But they also have the quarterback. Shanahan's been doing it for longer. Shanahan behind Sirianni is insane to me. It was my point.
Okay, so I think that's a good case. The other one that I think is criminally low is Pete Carroll.
I think so too. But then you look at this list. Who are you going to put him above?
Definitely Brian Dable.
Yeah.
You definitely could. Brian Dable, Coach of the Year last year. First year, he's 1 for 1. He's coached one season in the NFL and Coach of the Year. Now, I would also take Pete Carroll, but I'm just saying that's Brian Dable's argument.
Sure.
Is he's been a head coach one time and was named the best coach in the NFL.
Sure.
I had the Giants under like 5.5 or 6.5 wins or something last year.
Yeah, but I mean, I felt the same way about the Seahawks. And the truth is, I used to take credit away from Pete Carroll. It's like, well, he has Russell Wilson.
I agree.
Now I have to retroactively rethink that and wonder if I should have been giving him extra credit for getting Russell Wilson to play that well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I totally agree.
So for me, I would definitely put him up at 8. I think you have a case for moving Sirianni down behind Carroll, so then moving everyone up a slot. And then I don't know what to do with Sean McVay.
Yeah.
He was so revered for a long time.
Yeah.
And then last season was so bad.
He's a good coach. But again, like last year, they didn't have any talent. When they were good, they had the superstar team where how do you lose? Like you have Cooper Kupp who stumbles into being their best player because OBJ fell apart or his knee came off.
Well,
like OBJ was going to be Super Bowl MVP. And then you have Cooper Kupp who winds up doing it. And those are just the receivers.
And
They
Cooper
get
Kupp
Von
also
Miller,
won
Jalen
the
Ramsey.
Triple Crown that year.
He did. He did during the season. But like
To be fair, though, to Sean McVay, he took Matthew Stafford, who really good guy at putting up numbers, but no success ever in terms of winning. And then the very first year together, the only year he's been healthy, they went and won a Super Bowl. So he was able to elevate his game a ton.
Yep.
With a ton of talent.
Also, he's right there with Shanahan
the
to me.
only one in the top. Oh no, Shanahan doesn't have one yet. Okay, so Sirianni, Shanahan, the only ones in the top 7 that haven't won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll's low. John Harbaugh at 11, I think is pretty low.
That is low.
I would say that Harbaugh has underachieved with Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Okay. I mean that could be fair. But just he's like a Mike Tomlin light.
Yes.
We're just like you're in like fantastic hands.
Does he have a championship?
Yes.
Yes, right.
Yes.
Beat his brother.
The Niners, Ravens. Yep.
Yep. 2012. We all remember that. And then something else that's crazy, Mike Vrabel being 13. I think he probably should be higher. I don't know where, but I think Mike Vrabel is just in and out consistently every single year in the head coach of the year conversation. And for him to almost be an average coach on this ranking is nuts.
I think the one that I would move him above, I know that this was like a magical round. I just don't have the respect for Dable yet.
And that's fair. I mean, but it is power rankings.
Like,
I know.
So it is more short term.
That
Who
is
do you
true.
want as your coach right now?
I would take Vrabel over Dable all day.
Wow.
Did that rhyme?
Yeah.
Was that a rhyme?
But then you also have
I
like
would too.
see, and that's where I look at Dable, Doug Peterson, Zach Taylor.
Doug Peterson's an
Vrabel.
interesting one too.
All
It's
4 of
like
those are just kind of the same.
1 for 1 getting the Jags to the playoffs.
Yep.
And winning a game.
And the last time he was a head coach, he was like just a year off of winning a
winning
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Does
I
that mean
think
he
coach of the
should
year.
have? He should have been able to get him there because the guy after him did.
Wait, no,
Well,
didn't
he did.
did-
He won
oh,
a
yeah,
Super
Doug-
Bowl.
Doug
Oh, he
did win a
did.
Super
He did
Bowl.
win
Yeah.
that.
He
That's
won a
right.
Super Bowl and then I think got fired. Like he was 1 full season and then got fired
Yeah,
after.
that's
that.
what it was.
You know what this list
Or 2 full seasons.
really shows me, and looking at just beyond like the top 5 and where Sean Payton is, this list shows me there's a lot of good football coaches, a lot of
Yes.
good head coaches in the NFL.
Makes it crazy that the Broncos haven't had one since 2015.
Exactly. It's even more damning about that. And because if I wouldn't have looked at this list and you just would have asked me, I probably would have said, yeah, there's probably 7 good coaches, and then you kind of just luck into other ones. But no, Dan Campbell's number 16.
Kevin O'Connell, like he should
Kevin
be way
O'Connell's
higher.
number 15. McDaniel is number 14. All of those guys, I would take in a heartbeat if the Broncos didn't have Sean Payton. And then even some guys from 17 to 24, I could absolutely be convinced. I mean,
Sean
Sean McDermott is number 22.
That's wild.
And that must be a power rankings thing where it's right now, and people are lower on the Bills now than they have been in the past 4 years. And they're still high
I just
on
don't
them.
think there's as much movement in coaches and power rankings. You know?
Yeah, I just McDermott at 22 is disrespectful.
LaFleur, now, of course,
Also
the product of Aaron
disrespectful.
Rodgers.
Yeah.
We'll
but
find out.
The most winningest coach in his first 3 seasons before last year happened. And last year, were they 1 game under 500?
Yeah.
1 game under 500? I mean, really impressive.
Shout out Josh McDaniels, number 29. Too high.
I was going to say, give me D'Amico Ryans above Josh McDaniels.
They just
in a
put all
frickin'
the-
heartbeat.
Jonathan Gannon just got last place just for being corny in one video.
They just put all the first year coaches last. So Josh McDaniels is last of everybody who's coached.
Oh, true.
Yeah. And Eberflus
I
next
mean,
because
that's how it should be.
that's where he
I
belongs.
agree.
Dennis Allen, Todd Bowles.
Oh, Robert Soliby in
Yeah.
25. He will be in the top 8 next year.
You think so?
Oh God,
I
you
don't
love
think
the Jets.
so.
I don't love the Jets. I'm just view
Also,
them
like
realistically.
Mike McDaniel at 14.
That's what I'm saying.
How about this? This is gonna hurt. All the coaches that the Broncos could have hired in a cycle that they were hiring.
Oh,
I can't go back far enough for the top 4. But Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Brian Dable, Doug Peterson, Zach Taylor, Mike McDaniel, Kevin O'Connell. I can't remember if Dan Campbell lined up with us or if Vrabel did. But half of the top 15 were all hired in cycles where the Broncos were hiring a coach. Now, they got number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
There
They
you
got
go.
number 4.
but after how many times did they miss out?
Yes.
On some of these guys.
Yes. I mean, we could be not talking about any of this. They could have just hired Kyle Shanahan right after Kubiak, and
Yep.
the Broncos might have been set at head coach for the next 30 years.
Yeah, it's so man, this is absolutely wild. And now after talking about this, I thought there was no disrespect on Sean Payton coming into this and the Broncos coming into this. After breaking it down, there's even more respect on Sean Payton with how many really good coaches are in this right now. Should we build our own power ranking to
Yes.
see where we are? And let's do that after I tell you about our friends over at FOCO.
We're getting the graphic.
What? Oh, did I get you here?
I know. I was hoping you would. What a shame.
I guess it wasn't a good enough tease. But, I mean, you look at our set right now, so many things are from FOCO. In front of us, behind us, we've got it all from FOCO. And if you want it from FOCO, you want some Nuggets gear, you want to be rocking the Nuggets in your home, on your body during the finals run. You know, a shirt. You hear? Don't laugh at me. They probably even have like some temporary tattoos. Check them out. Use that promo code DNVR for 10% off over at FOCO. And I got to say this, FOCO is a great place for gifts for someone. So check them out, FOCO. Use that code DNVR.
And also go get yourself some sunglasses from Shady Rays. I wore mine yesterday. I usually don't wear mine when I golf because it's kind of like a weird thing where I don't know.
Shady Rays?
Yeah.
I don't wear sunglasses while I golf.
I don't either. I didn't come away from it with like a strong stance. I'm still questioning that, but it was just so bright. I was like, well, I have to bring these with me, and we're walking, so it's like I can't just like set them down somewhere. So I was like, okay, we're gonna try golfing with these, and I'm not really sure still. But then like a storm came in around like the 9th hole, and so then I didn't wear them the rest of the day because it was
What time did you tee off?
3:18.
Yep. I was going to say, it sounds a lot like my round.
yeah.
I teed off at 3.
So if you're a sunglass golfer, then you should definitely get some Shady Rays. And even if you're not a sunglass golfer, then there's all the time between the shots where you're still going to want them because otherwise your eyes are going to hurt, which sucks. Also, sunscreen. Kept it on my eyes yesterday, but it's still
Damn,
just
I'm impressed.
stressful.
I can actually tell that you wore sunscreen.
Yeah.
You're not, red cheeked.
Thanks. I did notice there's a little piece of my arm. I can't remember. Maybe it's already gone. But yeah, there was a little piece of my arm that I think I missed. Other than that, though, sunburn free. Shady Rays, though, they're great sunglasses. They're all polarized. And if you want to get 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses from shadyrays.com, you can use the code DNVR. You'll get 50% off. It's a great deal. So make sure you get on over there and get some sunglasses.
Really quick, do professional golfers wear sunglasses?
Some.
Okay.
Yeah. It's different.
It's just one of those things that I think you have to get used to. I'm
Yeah.
like, even when in a true sunglasses situation, I'm constantly on and off.
Yeah.
With golf, I'm like afraid they're gonna fall off when I like.
Like when I took them off, I just had them on my hat because again we're walking. You go over like a bridge or something, and it's windy. There's a storm.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh please don't blow off into the water. So I was like kind of paranoid about that.
A lot of Joe Ellis shout outs in the comment section right now.
Yeah. Joe Ellis getting all the credit for the Broncos,
Yes,
not getting
he
Kyle
certainly
Shanahan.
is. John Elway, people already forgot about him.
I'd
Kinda
love
wild.
to just be a fly on the wall in those conversations. What happened there?
Especially ones where the Broncos are being accused of, or were being accused of some being hungover.
Oh,
being
yes.
Extremely hungover or something like that.
That was the Brian Flores interview.
Yep,
Same cycle?
Yeah. It,
I think that was the next cycle.
from which cycle?
From the Shanahan cycle.
Yeah.
Flores
that
was
next
the
one.
Fangio
Vic.
cycle.
Yep, exactly. Okay, let's build our power rankings. We can go 5 deep. We can go 10 deep. Let's not let Henry discuss who number 1 is.
It's Bill Belichick.
Are you
I
serious?
said it. Yeah, it's Bill Belichick.
In the power rankings.
Yeah.
This is not greatest head coaches of all time.
No,
Well, it
it's
doesn't
who,
matter. He gets overruled.
Yeah,
we both
it's
say
who do
Andy
you-
Reid.
We all agree though. Like, it's
Or you-
who would you want to be your coach this season? That's how power rankings
Andy
work,
Reid.
right?
100%.
You take Andy Reid.
I don't know how you can make the argument for Sean Payton having so much weight as an offensive coach because of how important he is, and then be giving, I guess, discredit Andy Reid a little bit, or be giving Bill Belichick.
So-
Bill
I mean-
Belichick's offensive coordinator last year was a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
For me, I personally think that Patrick Mahomes gets too much credit. Andy Reid doesn't
do.
get enough.
Yeah.
Huh. I
You think
don't.
that about Travis Kelce too? Like it's more so Andy Reid.
Yeah,
Like you think he's the mastermind.
I do. I really do think that he is the mastermind. He's the one who makes all of those numbers happen.
And this is why the worst season
And
they've
then
had.
he also found a match made in heaven. He found
Yeah.
the perfect quarterback for what he wants to do, and we see the results.
Yep, exactly. So we don't have to talk anymore about Andy Reid. He's the clear number one to me. Now is it Bill Belichick? You would obviously make the case, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Who's it between right now? Is it between Belichick and Tomlin?
I've got Belichick, Tomlin, Payton, all.
I want
I
Kyle
guess Belichick
Shanahan in
easy
this
then, let's go, I guess.
conversation.
I honestly think Shanahan, just what he did last year, but
To me, it's a more with
man,
less.
because
He has so much more.
I would easily
so
put
much more.
Everything that Bill Belichick has ever done was with the greatest quarterback of all time.
career-wise, Kyle Shanahan is not even close to 2 right now. But right now, in a power rankings,
Who do I want to be my coach next year? I'm taking him over Belichick.
Really?
Yeah.
Coming into the Broncos right now.
I am too.
Oh
It's
my
Kyle
God,
Shanahan.
that's insane. Kyle Shanahan at number 2?
Yeah.
He's
Right.
not that good. He's not that good. He's like a fringe top 5 coach. He's like a smart offensive guy, but again, like the defense carried
No
him.
matter what happens, that team
Oh
is
my
good.
goodness. No matter what happens, they have all pros at every position but quarterback. Like legitimately
Not
every single
every-
position.
Mr.
Every one of them. Not
Irrelevant
corner.
as
Not
a
corner.
rookie
There you go.
was his quarterback
Oh my-
last year.
Because
if you
they
can
have Christian
do that,
freaking McCaffrey running the ball. He's throwing little bubble screens to
How is
Deebo
that-
Samuel. He's passing the ball to George Kittle. He's not that. He's great. He's
That is-
not number 2. He's
I
not
don't think
Bill Belichick.
so. Really quick, I don't think Debo is the same player that you think he is if he's not playing with Kyle Shanahan. He's still very good, but not in. You're not speaking about him in that light. Go ahead.
you're discrediting Kyle Shanahan.
I'm not.
When I give him for the reasons of like, well, he doesn't have a quarterback, but he has all these other weapons. I give him all that credit for getting the ball to all of his weapons and utilizing them because I think with any coach the Broncos have had, you give them those weapons, they're not going to maximize them. Kyle Shanahan has absolutely maximized his weapons.
Fun fact about Kyle Shanahan: never been caught cheating.
Wow,
What-
it's true.
You've changed stances on cheating often. I mean Kyle Shanahan, he's a really good coach, but it's not. He has an insane roster. Give Bill Belichick that team, they might actually win a
but-
Super Bowl.
What's the first year? Let's go back to the first year that Kyle Shanahan got the Niners to the Super Bowl. Was that the first time they'd made a deep playoff run? I think it was.
Yes.
What was that roster that stacked? Because I don't think it was. They still did have Fred Warner. They obviously had like their running back. Who was that?
Oh, and that's the thing. It was the Mike Shanahan of
Jeffrey
running
Wilson
backs.
or something?
Yeah, it was just a rotating cast.
They had Debo. They had George Kittle. Emmanuel Sanders was like wide receiver 2 on that.
Yeah.
Like over 30 Emmanuel Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
The corners were not good. They did have Richard Sherman, I think, maybe.
Yep. Yeah,
pretty
I think
good.
So.
Yeah. They also had like Akella Witherspoon. So to me, that run was when I started thinking, oh my God, this guy might be really good. And then the thing is, that was might. Then all they've done after that is just replicate the success. NFC Championship, NFC Championship, NFC Championship. Like,
I mean, the year after that, they won 6 games.
what happened?
Then the next year they won 10. And then the next year made a conference championship.
But see, that's why this is a power rankings in my mind. Is I was certainly not afraid to discount what Kyle Shanahan had done when you would compare Vance Joseph and Kyle Shanahan's stats
Yep.
for the first 3 years of Kyle Shanahan's tenure, because He had a worse record than Vance Joseph, but now I just looking at what he's done recently. So I am forgetting what happened in the past. And also, I'm forgetting what happened in the past with Bill Belichick, because we're talking about right now. And the Bill Belichick, this is the third time I'm going to say it, last year, he had a defensive coordinator as his offensive play caller, and it was disastrous.
Yeah.
That's the Bill
Might have
Belichick. That's who he
ruined his
is
young
right now.
quarterback.
Potentially, that's who he is right now.
Yeah.
But I still, like, if one of these guys is coming to Denver, I want Bill Belichick in a landslide.
Not
Come in there,
me.
whip everybody into shape. Like, that's exactly what I've wanted this entire time, is the closest thing to Bill Belichick you can get. That's a nice thing about Sean Payton, is that he has the offense stuff with that. But that's where Kyle Shanahan, he comes in. Sure, have fun. Like, you just don't have the same talent that he had. Like, he's not going to take this team to a Super Bowl. He's not, like, maybe a fringe playoff team. Give me Bill Belichick in a landslide.
So are we going Bill Belichick? So we're going, number 2 is Kyle Shanahan.
Yep.
Yeah, here. Number 3, are we going Bill Belichick?
Why not Sean McVay
In front
over
of
Kyle Shanahan?
just the most recent. I mean, it's power rankings right now.
And more.
But that changes what you think of him.
More sustained success.
Both 2 Super Bowls, right? That they've been to. McVay's actually won one. Like, they've been just as, I feel like they've been good. Like, they dipped last year, but
I
they
don't
just had
think
no
have
talent.
the Niners
That's not
been
his
to
fault.
2? I don't think they have. So you
Oh,
have
maybe
a better
not.
case there.
Yeah, they just been the one.
I could probably go Sean McVay.
It's just
after last year,
honestly
I
just
don't
the
wanna go.
recency bias.
But
Yeah.
McVay just didn't have any talent.
I don't think
like,
that's
that team was
biased
just
when you're
terrible.
talking about power rankings.
Right.
No.
Recency bias is an important thing in power
Right.
rankings.
But I don't
right.
think they underperformed in any way.
So do you want Sean McVay here?
No, I still go Belichick.
So you go Belichick number 3.
But I just don't know why McVay over Shanahan.
So we have
Or not
Belichick, Tomlin, Sean Payton, McVay, Sirianni, all to put in order here.
All right. Oh, God. It's so hard for me because I feel like it's the just thing to do to put Bill Belichick next.
It is.
But I don't know if I would personally pick him next.
When there was rumors for a second that the Broncos could, not the Broncos, but that teams could trade for Bill Belichick this offseason, I was so down for it. Little worried, though. Just like, okay, how much is this? I do think he's a hell of a coach, and I could definitely be convinced to put Bill Belichick
Also, it
here.
shouldn't
He's
say
Bill
top 10
Belichick.
NFL head coaches at the top. That's going to get us in trouble. It should say NFL coach power rankings.
Yeah.
I'll
I-
switch it
I
for
agree.
for the social. This is just right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go Bill Belichick.
All right. That's fine.
Now, Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton, Sean McVay.
I'd go Peyton.
I think I would personally have to go Mike Tomlin for the 2 things. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record. And then the other thing is just, this is the one where I think Sean gets hurt from being out of the game last year. So I
You think he's worse now because of it?
You think you
I
get
think he just-
minus points in power rankings for not being
Yeah.
there.
But I think power ranking is just who do you want to be your coach? And him not coaching last year doesn't change that for me. But if it does for you,
It
that's
does
fine.
for me. There is a slight sliver of my brain that is afraid of the fact that he's been out of the league.
Really? Okay.
he's also admitted that he's going to do things a little differently. Now, I don't think it means that it's going to be worse necessarily, but you're taking a great coach doing something different. That could make him better. It could also make him a little worse. So I would go Tomlin, then Payton.
I would too.
Okay, then that's...
Okay.
And so obviously you agree with Payton being after
Yep.
him or like in the top five. So Sean Payton in the top five. Do we want to go and build a top 10? Do we just want to stop right here?
I'd keep going.
You want
I'm down for whatever.
You want to keep going?
What segment are we?
We are in the
Third?
third segment. It's tough when you have segments and pre-rolls. But let's go on the fourth segment because Backus and Shanker are our people. If you need to sue, smash the 222-2222 to get a hold of Backus and Shanker. If you're in any sort of accident, automobile, pedestrian, ride share, with a bus, anything terrible happens to you, a loved one, a friend, make sure to give our friends over at Backus and Shanker a call at 222-2222. The great thing about them, you call for a free consultation. They work on your case. You pay nothing. You only pay when they win your case, and they've won over $1 billion for their clients. So all they do is win. So give them a call over at Backus and Shanker with any kind of injury case where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycles, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. Call them at 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free. Backus and Shanker wins.
And get yourself some athletic greens. They're a great way to start your day. All you gotta do is just take like a little scoop and then you shake it up and then you drink it and then
Or you use the frother if you're like Zach's fiance.
Yep.
frother. If you
Now
don't,
she's turned me into it. It's the best.
the hell is a frother?
It's a thing that spins really fast.
Yeah.
Like
And
my
you just put it in there and it mixes it up for you so you don't have to shake it.
If you use the frother on your teeth, it will grind them
Oh,
down.
I was thinking use the toothbrush to froth.
You could try that.
Yeah.
And then brush your athletic greens
Yeah,
right out of
it's
your
true.
teeth.
Wow. Well, you can shake it up if you want or froth it or whatever. But the point is you should drink it because, or just get it in you, I guess is my point. Because it has 75
Dry
high
scoop
quality
it if that's what
vitamins,
you like.
minerals, whole food source, superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens, all sorts of awesome stuff that helps your gut health and your nervous system and your immune system and your energy and recovery and focus. It'll stop you from aging. Well, or something. So definitely go to Athletic Greens. You'll get a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs with your first
I don't
purchase.
think it says it'll stop you from aging or something in the copy. And Hank just got done saying that
Well-
he only reads the copy.
Well, I threw
Which
it
is
says
bad.
it helps your energy, recovery, focus. Oh, no, it supports your aging, I guess, if you skip all the stuff in the middle. But that... It'll
Great
stop
for
you
skin
from
health,
aging.
so it probably helps you from getting wrinkles.
athleticgreens.com/Broncos. You can get this awesome deal. Free 1-year supply of immune supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs with your first purchase.
If you drink too much Athletic Green, do you Benjamin Button?
Ooh, start going
You
in
go
reverse.
backward? Yeah.
Or do you turn green?
Oh, well, isn't my
You can
fiance
turn
tells me
orange.
that carrots, yeah,
Yeah.
can do that.
If you if you drink too much carrot juice, it can turn your skin orange.
Wow.
That would be interesting.
I just have to say this really quick. The power rankings we're looking at doesn't just list the names, it has a picture of every person. The lack of diversity in this graphic is jarring.
Yeah. It is rare. Mike Tomlin, Mike McDaniel, Ron Rivera,
Bowles,
Saleh.
Todd Bowles, Robert Saleh, then D'Amico Ryans.
D'Amico Ryans.
So that's like, what,
I mean, it's a
6?
really good point.
It's tough. It's like hard to look at. It's
Yeah.
like, geez,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Let's get this figured out.
and,
NFL.
and that's why the NFL is incentivizing teams so much right now.
Yep.
And really, I keep hearing,
And even it's weird that it came to that.
yeah, totally. The Broncos will not get any sort of compensatory pick for Evero last year. Just by the way, I know we've mentioned that, but I saw that a couple of times last week. They will not get one. He has to be on your staff for 2 years.
Okay.
And he was only on the staff for 1.
All right. So are we rounding out the top 10?
Let's round out the top 10 for me here. I think Sean McVay deserves to be here.
Yeah,
definitely.
Not only just the golden boy, but the success that he's had is just incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I think Hank had actually a fair take saying what's the difference between him and Shanahan. And so I might have actually, if you guys weren't so set on Belichick, might have made the case for him to go up that high. But then I probably would have just slid Tomlin up. I don't know. To me, anything between 2 and 6 could be mixed around.
Let's see. Does it continue to 7? Because here, I think I need to start making the case for Mike Vrabel and Pete Carroll
Yeah,
at some
so
point in this list.
I'd
For-
probably go Pete Carroll.
I would
Kevin
go-
O'Connell should be right there, too.
I would go Pete Carroll here. To me, even in a power ranking scenario, I still like to have a body of work.
Sure, yeah, and that's why I'm not throwing Brian Daboll in here right now because of that.
No, he's not in my top 10.
Not
Sirianni's
Sirianni.
a tough one for me too.
I would put Mike Vrabel ahead of him. The amount of success he's had with
But Mike Vrabel
Ryan
hasn't.
Tannehill.
It's all like
It's
medium
low tier
success. though. It's not
yeah.
like
I
big
think,
success.
But
So
hasn't
did he make
he?
one AFC Championship game
he did.
Yeah.
against the Chiefs?
And was a one
hasn't-
seed once.
Hasn't he raised his team more than maybe any coach?
What about Kevin O'Connell?
I think
They
Kevin
won
O'Connell
13
can,
games,
can,
you know?
can be right there. Sure.
Like,
I mean,
and
I
I'm
love
not
Kevin O'Connell. I wanted the Broncos to hire him last
like
year.
Zach Taylor even. It's
Zach Taylor-
Harbaugh to me. Now that I think of it, it's absolutely John Harbaugh for me.
Next, after Pete Carroll.
No, before Pete Carroll for me, but
I
that's
think
already
John
up there.
John Harbaugh's right here for career accomplishments for me.
I
agree,
want
he
Zach
kind of
Taylor
has.
in this conversation.
And he absolutely probably should be.
2 AFC championships and a Super Bowl appearance in what, 5 years or less?
Yeah, 4 I think.
It would because it would have been the Vic Fangio cycle.
Didn't
So 4.
Joe Burrow's third year quarterback? He was hired 1 year before. I mean, I think Zach Taylor's in the top 10.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you
I
want?
just don't look at it and see what he's.
You said
like the
Harbaugh
team's
here,
good.
right?
Yeah, and
I say
that
it's-
was my bad. I would have put him right behind Sean Payton, but it is what it is now.
I want Zach Taylor here. He wants Harbaugh here. Who do you want?
I want Mike Vrabel here.
All right,
Um,
who's your second choice? I'd probably go. Oh,
You guys want to guess a number?
Wait,
like we
did you
did
say
last
when-
time?
No.
you went Pete Carroll here.
Yes. No. I
we
went.
already have Pete
Zach
Carroll.
Taylor
Oh,
here.
that's right. He's already up there.
And you have Harbaugh. I mean, between those two, I would go Zach Taylor above Harbaugh.
I'd
for right
probably
now.
go Zach Taylor above Vrabel.
Okay, so
But
then
I
Zach
don't know.
Taylor it is.
They're
So
both
then
pretty.
We're down to
mid to me.
Harbaugh or Vrabel here, and I break the tie. Is that how this works?
Or we can just.
I would just say we start fresh. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
I
say
think so.
Harbaugh.
Okay. Yeah.
What about Nick Sirianni? Where does he come in?
I know.
Play?
I think he has to be in the top 10.
Really? Yeah. I don't think he's that good. What has he done? Like
He
won
made Jalen Hurts good.
but how
Or
much?
I shouldn't say he made him good. He created a system that allowed Jalen Hurts to be an MVP candidate.
Yeah, but the system is have 2 All-Pro receivers and the greatest offensive line in the league, greatest offensive line in the last decade. The defense is like I don't know, especially after how bad the year before was. Like I'm just not ready to say he's a great coach. I think he had a great team and he was fine.
Okay. Well, that's gonna make this tough.
I do.
So I would put Sirianni over Vrabel.
I would too.
Okay, so I think that makes
then,
Vrabel out
yep.
of the top 10. But I would also put Harbaugh above Sirianni.
Definitely.
So then is Harbaugh going right here then?
So is it Harbaugh Sirianni?
Is it Harbaugh above Sirianni?
Both of us said that. So
Okay, so then he's here. I have to make a case for Brian Dable to be in the top 10 though.
Yeah.
And the reason is
no way he can be over Sirianni.
I think he, in terms of just coaching though, the Giants might have been like, the Giants were a bottom 5 roster last
yeah.
year. And he
Easily.
made them a playoff team that won a playoff game that got Daniel Jones from potential bust to a $40 million quarterback.
Yep.
He maximized Saquon Barkley. I couldn't name a receiver.
But isn't
on
there a
that
part of you
team.
that says I need to see him do it again?
Yeah, but this is power rankings.
I know.
So it is right now.
But
right
it's-
now, I'm still
But see,
But you
waiting
don't-
to see
but
if
you
he
don't
can
just-
do it again.
It isn't just like what's the most recent thing we've seen. Like it's who do you think is the best coach?
and what Brian Dable did, there's a reason he won Coach of the Year last year. Now, I'm still
Definitely.
taking Andy Reid ahead of him for this season. And there's a reason why he won Coach of the Year, was named the best Coach of the Year. Why? He's not in our top 5, our top 3, our number 1 here. I think in terms of how good of a coach he is, and I was very skeptical of when they hired him, even their defense wasn't good. I mean, in terms of like talent, he raised
But did
the
he do
talent
that?
level.
Yeah,
Not much change from the year before, so I give him
On
credit for it.
defense?
I
Give
mean,
him credit
it's
for
all
hiring.
culture. It's all culture. Like it's
Yeah.
the way you practice. He didn't do the Nathaniel Hackett thing and say, actually, you guys aren't going to tackle. You know, like you get credit for all the things that you do. Like he is by far an overachiever. Like
And that's
he's the
what
biggest
that's kinda what
overachiever
this-
of anybody last year.
Totally agree.
And that's where like or Kyle Shanahan to me, like again, great coach, medium overachievement last year.
Man, if they would have done that with Trey Lance last year, then I could kind of agree with you. But the fact that it was 3 quarterbacks
Purdy?
and one of
Yeah.
them being Brock Purdy,
Brock
Man.
Purdy never lost a game that he started and finished.
Yeah.
That's insane. I do think that I actually think it's pretty criminal if Brian Dable is not in the top 10.
It's definitely criminal if Nick Sirianni isn't in the top 10.
I don't think it is, though.
Who
Dable
was
did
number
so
9?
much more than Sirianni last year.
Number 9 is Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
John. We talked about Jim a lot more this offseason.
Yep. I think it is criminal if Sirianni's not in there. He just coached a team to the Super Bowl, and it was all system.
I mean, it's the talent is insane on that team, though. I think he was
To me,
he was
you're not
good.
giving enough credit to coaches having a system that makes their players look great.
And that's what Brian Dable did with much worse players.
Very true.
Saquon?
Are you going
Yeah.
Dable with me?
I go Dable over Sirianni.
Oh, I mean, it is wild that Sirianni isn't in here because I do think he's a damn good coach.
But there's like
I think-
20 or 15 good coaches.
I think between number 2 and number
Brian Dable.
7
over
or
Nick Sirianni.
8
Nick
is
Sirianni just
interchangeable.
Coached in the Super Bowl.
I hate so many things about our rankings.
What do you hate? Give me Hank's number 1 hate.
Kyle Shanahan being a top 3 coach is insane to me. Pete Carroll's
it's
too
not.
high. Zach Taylor, I probably wouldn't have had on the list. John Harbaugh is probably too low. I don't know.
I actually wonder
Kevin
if John
O'Connell
Harbaugh's
should be
too
right
high.
there.
The only reason
Really?
that
Yeah.
Hank hates Kyle Shanahan is because he's a Colorado kid. He can't stand anything Colorado.
That's not
that's
true.
true.
That's
How
just
many
That's the
that's
take
just
I'm taking.
How many
Wrong.
Montana guys do we have in here? Zero is
Zero.
probably the
Wow.
answer. Yeah, just my
I
guess.
bet at least one of them has a house in Montana.
Oh, probably.
Belichick,
Yeah.
don't
right?
know.
Or no, that's Phil Jackson.
It might be Sean
Yeah.
McVay, honestly.
I don't think any of them do.
Man, Sean
Sean
McVay is
McVay,
a
that's
Los
way too
Angeles
far
guy.
away,
Yeah, he
He
needs
needs
a
to be around
spotlight
people.
close to him.
no, I don't
It
think
would
any
be
of them do,
Belichick
actually.
or like a Harbaugh that would be up there. Maybe Pete Carroll? It's just a
No,
quick
he doesn't.
jaunt?
None of them do.
Wow. Okay. Henry knows all the people who have property
yeah.
in Montana.
Oh, I would know.
Brian
yeah.
Dable, I could see that.
Oh, I can see it, but he doesn't.
Oh, wow, he does know.
Yep.
Wow,
Yes.
that is impressive. I think we hit all of our mid rolls, right?
I'm so mad about this too. I don't want my name.
Brian
on it.
Dable.
I know. I
on
don't
this
want my
is
name
tough.
on it either.
Wow, I really like.
I think we need a new ranking system.
No, I think what could be better?
Everyone makes their rankings, and you get points for that.
But then
we
you
would
have to,
to
like-
come prepared.
Exactly.
that requires
and that's not gonna
homework.
happen.
Yes.
Zach doesn't trust us.
And we're
to do
still
our homework.
gonna hate it.
Well, this was fun.
I swear this show is just
Plus-
showing the same explosion over and over
Yeah,
again.
I think you're definitely right.
Well, it looks like it's some sort of like.
It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Oh.
And Mel Gibson. I bet someone already knows
do
what
you
it is. just
recognize
Oh
from
yeah,
that.
yeah. Just off those two hints. Should we get to some comments or should we save them for tomorrow? I just don't know what our studio timing is like.
Let's just do it.
Well, let's hit like 2.
The count says, as an homage to Zach's little brother and in opposition of the new meat.
Homage.
Homage works
Homage?
too.
Oh,
Homage?
I heard Amish.
Oh no,
I
homage.
think it's homage. Yeah.
Homage to Zach's little brother in opposition of the new media rules. I
Oh.
posit.
Posit. I know that's
I
wrong.
posit that we call the verbal diarrhea that spews forth with tension and disdain from the visor's pressers, quote, the smoke we eat every day. What do you guys say, my gents? Love the count.
I don't know what's happening.
Because what the count is saying is what Sean says is just, it's just smoke.
Yeah.
And we, our media,
eat.
We
are
just eat the
consuming
smoke.
it. Yeah. I mean, I
Swede.
think it's pretty good. Swede.
Swede.
I wonder.
Smoke we eat every day.
Yeah, Swede.
Swede.
The Swede.
Sean's going to be feeding us Swede this week, too.
Did you see D-Mac's tweet today?
No, what is it?
Oh
It's
God.
like, the Nuggets are going to be hosting an NBA Finals game at the same time Sean Payton won't let the media tweet from practice or something.
I'm very curious. Thursday, obviously, game 1 of the finals in Denver. Broncos OTA practice earlier that day. I wonder if media are going to make it to both or if it's going to be very sparse out at Broncos.
Yeah, let's see. So it's like a 6:30 start. So you got your 5 o'clock news. So they'll need something for that.
Yeah, like a live hit from the stadium.
Yeah, that's what I would
That
think.
is probably true,
honestly.
isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Jose in the
Ah.
comments says this is the Expendables 3, and I have no choice but to believe him.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea. I would have thought Expendables would be like cartoon happy. This is not cartoon
Like
happy.
the Incredibles.
Right. Yes,
This
exactly.
has a big like remake of a video game energy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You guys know that what the Expendables are, right?
No.
No.
It's a bunch of like old action stars that got together and made one big action movie, and they have 3 of them.
Oh.
So like you have
This checks out.
yeah,
so
it
that's
really,
basically what it
really
is.
does.
Huh.
You said superheroes?
I would have
No,
guessed
no,
this is
like old
G.I.
like
Joe.
yeah,
Yes.
like
Yeah, exactly. Action.
old,
Yeah.
old action stars from like the 80s and the 90s all
Man,
got
this
together.
does make me want to play a
Call of
game on
Duty?
Xbox. Yes.
I think in one of them
Rainbow
even Jet
Six?
Li's in it. I think Jet Li's in one. They also have like Statham. Like they have a bunch of dudes.
All right.
I just
Wow.
I don't need action movies.
Oh my gosh,
Oh.
that's the best genre of movie.
I don't need
Really?
movies.
That is a lie.
Just
Rob.
people like fighting
no,
and
you're like my
shooting each other.
fiance.
Sports get it done, and then if you need something, shows fill in the blanks.
Wow.
Not to say movies aren't good. I'm just saying I don't need. Wait, okay, you have to. One gotta go.
Okay.
Sports, movies, TV shows, and like
TV shows out.
there's got to be a fourth thing.
Yeah, news.
News, video games,
Okay, yeah. Sports,
It's
TV,
shows, movies, video games. One gotta go.
TV shows out. Sports is the clear number 1.
Yeah. Sports is.
Movies number 2.
Not
Video
expendable.
games 3. Pretty easy list.
I think I'd get rid of movies.
I
Movies
would-
would be last for me.
I would too. Too much of a
Yeah.
commitment.
Well, see,
I just need my
okay, so
PBS
the
account.
difference is I watched Air, the movie,
I
last
heard
week.
that was amazing.
It was great. Over like 5 days.
Oh my
Just
god,
like
I could never.
25 minutes at a time.
I could never.
That's
I
gross.
watched the new White Men Can't Jump this weekend. I thought it was good.
Is that a basketball movie?
Yes. And this version features Jack Harlow.
I haven't watched a movie in like
Oh.
week. Wow.
It
You just
it
watched
made
a
me-
movie.
Yeah, I know. I did.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. though.
Yeah.
Calling
Allie
him out for
wanted to
that.
watch a movie. What am I going to do? Say no?
Especially with no sports on, really?
Yeah, there was nothing
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm just going to enjoy this Nuggets run, too, or the finals, because after, we're in dry season.
Afterwards,
this is a
it's
good tweet. We
Broncos
should put
season.
this tweet out.
Yes.
One
Oh,
gotta
yes.
go.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I completely
A
agree.
lot
It's
of
an easy
people
poll.
choose video games.
Yep.
Yeah, just because they don't even play them in the first place.
For me, the rankings would definitely be sports, video games, TV shows, movies.
I think among our crowd, movies
Yep.
is going to have the second fewest votes. I think
Ah.
sports is going to be one, or the least. Movies, video games, TV shows.
I
No,
might put
video
TV
games.
shows in front of video games. Just
It's
because
a tough
like
thing, but like I definitely play way more video games than I watch TV shows.
I do too. But like
But my
I think I
rankings are
could
like
cut-
99% sports, 1% video games.
Exactly.
Right.
and that's where like I think if I had to cut one out, I'd cut video games out.
Fair.
Honestly,
Because I still want like my documentaries.
the thing
and
that's
stuff.
like not letting me do that is the Madden League. It's just so good.
definitely
right,
yeah.
right, yeah.
Me too. That's my one.
It's the only video game I play with
Exactly.
a little FIFA sprinkled in.
We're approaching playoffs.
Yes, we are.
Getting close.
Yes, we are.
By the way, real quick, I did have a poll.
The
Sean
AFC
Payton
playoff
top
race is
5.
insane.
Sean Payton top 5 coach in the NFL. 87% of the people said yes.
All right.
So
Curious about top 3. That was a hint. Like, would you throw it out for us here? Actually, no,
don't
we're
have time for
close
that.
to the end of the
yeah, I
show.
was about to say we got like 5 minutes left. So
One
you
more.
Still get anything from a movie? Yeah, we can move along.
Frazier 008 says, shout out to Numbies. They were showing your tweets on the Pat McAfee show Friday when talking about Russ. I'm not a
Wow.
Such a good comment from
That
Yankee
is-
Dragon. Any books read by this group?
I bought a new
No.
book. It's
gonna be a no
last
from
week.
me.
Cause
You bought a book?
Lexi was out of town for like a week, and I was like, I'm gonna get a book.
That is so,
That's so
adult of you.
That is incredibly adult.
For me, it would be
Thanks.
like, wow, I'm going to play so much video games.
Well, that I actually did get pretty good at Call of Duty.
What was the book about? Was it a history?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. It was like the
War
history of
and Peace.
Nazi Germany or something.
Wow. I
That
do.
is
I listen to
crazy,
books.
man.
I don't read books.
That's true. I did. This was my first audiobook.
Yeah.
Because-
I love audiobooks.
What?
See, I don't know.
So,
I-
but
If
you said action movies were the worst movies? Try
Not the
action.
Most expendable
Try
movies I've ever
action
said?
books. Those are great.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't need the shooting and the fighting and stuff.
I
Like,
thought you
if there's
watched
some of it, it's
Did you
like,
just say you played Call of Duty all
yeah,
weekend?
that's me. I don't need to watch it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
No one ever helped me fix my problem when I was a kid that I just like read and then I don't remember what I read.
Oh, me too. It's
Like that's been happening to
brutal.
me since I was like 7 years old and still haven't fixed it.
It's the worst because I'm right there with you.
I'm like, oh, I was just reading that, and I was thinking the entire time about what the Heat are going to possibly do to match up with Nikola Jokic in the post. I'm like, what was I doing?
Yes.
That's all I was thinking about. My eyes were just looking at the words, and my brain was doing something else.
And that's why I couldn't do audiobooks. That's why I was like, yeah, that's why podcasts are good, because I don't really care what they're saying. And hopefully that's not you listening to us. But sometimes it's like, oh, I just missed 5 minutes. Yeah, too bad. With a book, you got to pay attention. That's why I was like, I got to read it, not listen.
If you are listening to us, hit us with a 5-star review over on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening. Hit us with a thumbs up, too, if you're watching the show. We'd really appreciate it. The comment section's popping off, and it does not reflect the number of likes we have.
I got to say, giving the information that I just gave you, it is so impressive to me about myself that I graduated college.
Yeah, I'm impressed, too.
Wow.
I mean, let's start with high school and then college.
It was all a grind. It was all a grind. The whole time I was just thinking, I better find a way to make watching sports my job.
Well,
Yeah.
good job.
Yep.
Success.
Yep, it worked.
Yeah.
If you have any questions that we weren't able to get
Decently
to
good at it,
today,
too.
leave them on today's podcast, which we'll then read tomorrow.
All right, see you guys later.